get the endpoint URL, and so how you are able to like initiate a request. So then after it will provide you to generate the key as well. So with the help of your login credentials like your Gmail ID and then password, you can generate the this one. What is this? Uh, the security key. So with this key, you can make an call out from Salesforce to the these uh, YouTube API. Okay, so you can generate for the Google Maps as well, and you can generate for the Google other service as well. So in Google, we are having multiple services, right? So how we are going to generate the key, and then everything is available here. So create credentials. So whatever the steps, like if you go with the these YouTube API documentation, it will provide a step-by-step procedure here. So how you need to generate the API key. So and then where we need to use this API key. So then after so whatever the method do we need to use, and so how we are going to use these YouTube API in order to access these details. Everything is available. So just practice one authentication integration so that you have some confidence. Okay. So everything is same as I mentioned, right? If you would like to go with integration, the way of authentication, the way of like initiating a request, that is the only difference. Everything is same. So HTTP class, and then HTTP request preparation. So then you need to initiate a request. So once you got the response, you need to deserialize it. Okay, that is a common procedure for integration when you are like consuming the services. If you're providing a service, that is a different case. But if you're consuming service, that is a different case. Okay. So as of now, we are discussing about these consuming services. Okay. So like not only Salesforce, so not only YouTube. So whatever you want, just try to integrate with one of the like one of the public, but not public, one of the authentication site. That may be Facebook or LinkedIn, or you can go with this YouTube. Okay, so or you can go with some box.com. So whatever you want, just try it. So if you're able to search it, whatever the public site said, you can simply search it like a API for that. Okay, so that you are able to get some documentation. Just follow the documentation. Okay, so you go with like a Zoom, or you go with like a LinkedIn, or you go with Facebook. So or you go with like Instagram. So you have like multiple things. So each and everything they are going to expose an API. So just follow the API. So whatever the documentation they are having, so based on the documentation, try to create it. Okay. So anyone having any questions related to integration, consuming the services? I'm asking about consuming the services.
Srikant, I have a question. Uh,
Uh-huh.
I'm yet to understand what is callback URL. Like with the help of auth provider, we are generating this callback URL, but we have to set it in our client's connected app or wherever they have their security settings. So is it every time we
So
need to set or not?
that's what I'm saying. So I'm asking about like consuming the services. Okay, if you're providing the services, you are like a callback URL that is all into coming all coming to picture. Okay, so just now just as of now what we're trying to do, what I'm trying to discuss, consuming the services. So providing service, that's a different case. We will discuss it. Okay, I'm just asking consuming services. So any questions about consuming the services?
Integration.
Shrikant,
Mm-hmm.
actually, there's one interview question I read somewhere. I just want to ask, how can you ensure data synchronization between Salesforce and external system?
So data synchronization between Salesforce and external system, that is require two things. One is you need to consume third party services, as well as you need to provide the services to the third party application. For example, if I'm asking question and you are replying to me, similar way, if you're like asking question, I need to reply to you. Okay, so here
Mm.
synchronization in the sense, generally what they are going to do, they are maintaining data in two different applications. Okay, for example, they are maintaining data in Salesforce or SAP, or Salesforce Oracle, or Salesforce some Java application. Okay, so they are
Mm.
maintaining data in both applications. So for example, you can share like one situation, they are maintaining data in Salesforce as well as one Java application. So what we need to do from the Salesforce side, you need to do two activities. So whenever account record is created, you need to create a same record in a Java application. Similar way, when you modify account record, then same details you need to modify in Java as well. Similar way, whenever a record created in Java, that should be created in our Salesforce. Okay. So
Okay.
along with that, what we do, whenever changes happen in Java application, same changes that should be reflected in our Salesforce as well. So these kind of implementation we need to do. Okay. So here, how we are going to like do in sense, we are following one procedure. The procedure is basically Salesforce as well as Java application. Okay, so I am assuming Salesforce and then Java. So then you may be like you can go with some different as well. Okay, so some Salesforce are like SAP, Salesforce are like Oracle, whatever the system they are using. Okay, in the case of if I am using one moment. So in the case of if we are like using Salesforce and Java, just assuming these two systems. Okay. So now what I'm trying to do, if I would like to provide a synchronization between Salesforce and the Java in the sense, whenever record created in Salesforce, same record that we need to create in Java. Similar way, if we are like modifying something in our Salesforce, same details that we need to update in our Java. So along with that, what you need to do, if anything is created in Java, same record that we need to create in our Salesforce, and then what if anything is modified in Java, same thing that we need to update in our Salesforce. That we called as synchronization. Sometimes we need like implement such kind of things. At that time, what we need to do, so in Salesforce, we are having a record ID. Whenever record ID, whenever record is created, immediately what happened, right? We are able to create the record. Okay, so we when we create the record, immediately record ID will be generated. So whenever record is created, then what we need to do, we need to pass our record details to the Java application. In the Java application, we need to create the record. So in the Java application, they we need to map. We need to map in our Java database. So whatever the database they are using, we need to map our fields to the Java fields. So in that way, we need to map our fields to the Java fields. Generate a different ID. So in Java, it is going to generate a different ID. Okay, so once these record you are able to pass from our Salesforce to the Java, then whatever the like record that is going to created, so we are going to populate a Salesforce ID in our Java application. Salesforce ID in our Java application, and as a response, we need to get the Java ID. So the Java ID we need to update in our Salesforce. It is a little bit a little bit like confusing. I can understand, but the procedure is we don't have any option. We need to follow the same procedure. Okay. So initially, what happened whenever record is created in our Salesforce, we are going to use trigger. With the help of trigger, we can create a same record in our Java. Okay, so next time if you modify data in these Salesforce, you can also modify
Hello,
data
Shrikant.
in
Your
other
voice is breaking, Shrikant.
data also. So how do you know? So oh, are you able to hear me now?
Hello, Shrikant.
Yeah, are you able to hear me now?
Huh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
now.
So are you able to hear me properly? Or you are facing any audio issues?
Now
Now it
it's
is.
fine.
Okay. So what we need to whenever a record is created in our Salesforce, we need to create a record in our Java application as well. Okay. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to use some trigger. Within trigger, we can initiate a API so that we are able to create record in our Java application. Up to here, that is fine. But the thing here is, whenever you have modified record in our Salesforce, same record we need to update in our Java application as well. So, for example, you have like a name equal to so and so, some text. Okay, so name equal to so and so. These text you have created a data in our Java application. So now the thing here it is you have modified name to the text one. So same name you need to update in our Java application as well. So how do you know? How do you know? Like you have modified you have modified so and so record in our Java application sense. What we need to whenever a record is created in our Java application, it is going to generate a one ID. It is going to generate one ID in our Java side. So whenever record is created, then immediately whatever the Java ID is generated, same ID we need to pass it to the our Salesforce. In Salesforce, we are going to maintain the Java ID as well. We are going to maintain the Java ID as well. So when you modified data in our Salesforce, immediately we are initiating a request to the Java. So within the Java, whatever the Java ID, based on the Java ID, you are able to fetch the record and they are going to update it. So from Java side, you no need to implement it. They will provide the like a endpoint URL. You need to just consume the endpoint URL. So they will take care of like whatever the update and everything. They will take care of it. But the thing here it is, you need to pass the requested data. So the request data is basically Java ID. You need to pass it to the these people so that they are able to update the record. Okay. So similar way, whenever Java people created a new record, then immediately the record should be created in our Salesforce side. At the time, you are going to provide the services. So these services is basically multiple things. Okay. So if you would like to provide the services from Salesforce to the third party system, then we are having like a standard APIs. We are having standard APIs. Okay. So this standard API is basically um, whatever the like records do you want to create, records do you want to update, or like records do you want to delete. By default, Salesforce provided some standard APIs. So if we would like to go with if you would like to know these Salesforce standard API, simply search it in our Google. So what are the Salesforce standard APIs, then you are able to get it. Okay, so with the help of authentication, no need to like implement any extra features here. We just need to provide the endpoint URL, and we just need to provide the like these standard API endpoint URL, and then username and password, so that they are able to access our data. So if you would like to know these Salesforce standard API, standard APIs, you can get like multiple things. Okay, so if you would like to create the record, or if you would like to modify the record, so then by default these standard APIs that is going to available here. Okay, so team, I think you are able to hear me right without any issues.
Yeah,
Yes,
Shrikant, we
Shrikant.
can. So in this case, instead of point-to-point integration, middleware using middleware is better, efficient way, right?
No, 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 no. Like middleware, there is a better, but we are having some standard APIs also there. Okay,
Okay.
so these standard APIs is basically if you would like to create the record. So if you see here, right, only you need to provide your username and password and these endpoint URL. So services slash
Mhm.
data slash whatever the version we are currently using, S objects and then account. Okay, so then automatically record will be created. So similar way, if you would like to update the record, what you need to use a method called batch, and you need to provide the record ID. So whatever the fields do you want to modify, you need to provide they need to provide the JSON like this. So if they are able to provide the JSON like this, automatically these details it is going to modify it. Similar way, if you would like to delete the record, okay, so whatever the method do you want to use, the method is deleter, and then you need to just provide this endpoint URL to the third party system, so that they are able to directly access our application without implementing any code. So generally what we need to, if you would like to provide the services to the third party system, you need to implement corresponding services, whatever the endpoint URL, and whatever the connected app, and then after like Apex classes, everything you need to provide to them. But the thing here it is, Salesforce provided some default like some standard APIs. So for basic requirements, Salesforce provided these standard APIs. So if you would like to create the record, or if you would like to modify the record, or if you would like to delete the record, or accessing the record, or accessing the record, then we can go with these standard APIs. Okay, if you would like to access the record, or if you would like to create the record, or if you would like to delete the record, or if you would like to modify the record, so these standard APIs we can use it. And we are having like a one more option is available, that is a composite record. So these composite record in the sense, for example, if I'm like trying to create a account record, then after like I would like to create a contact record. Okay, and maybe like if I would like to create one more child record under my account. Okay, so within the same URL, I would like to create a account record, contact record, as well as a opportunity record. At the time, I can go with I can go with like this composite API. Okay, so how this composite API is working in the sense, whenever account record is created, so under the same account record, it is going to create a contact record as well as a opportunity record as well. So without writing any code, so by default, these standard APIs have provided these features. So generally what you need to, if you would like to expose any service, you need to write a Apex clause in your system like this. You need to write a Apex clause in your system like this. So URL mapping and then API, so account. So then after you need to provide the some star all like this. Okay. So with this endpoint URL, they are able to access our data. So here, how you need like provide the endpoint URL in the sense, I'm going to like showcase with you from our so here what you need to do, whatever the URL you are having in your system, whatever the URL having in your system, so until this.com you need to consider, until this.com you need to consider. So then after, whatever the details available here, right, whatever the like details available here, right, same details you need to provide here. So, for example, if I would like to provide this create record, I would like to provide this create record. So then, what you need to provide an endpoint URL like this. You need to provide an endpoint URL like this. So up to here, okay. So here, so then after whatever the URL we are going to generate. So these things you need to provide. Okay. So if they are asking, I would like to create a account record, or I would like to create the contact record. So, or I would like to create some X update record. So then what you need to, if they just need to create a record, okay, they don't like require any other like features. They just want to create record in our Salesforce. Then what you can do, you just need to provide the the corresponding endpoint URL like this. Okay. So along with that, you need to provide the username and then password so that they are able to create a record in our Salesforce. Okay. So generally what they are going to do, we are going to we are going to create one specific user. We are going to create one specific user for the integration. So if you would like to create any other records, if you would like to create any other records, or if you would like to provide any services, maybe like some different services from Salesforce to third party system, then they are going to access with the help of these endpoint URL. So if you would like to consume the YouTube API, then what you need to do, you just need to use one endpoint URL. So with the help of this endpoint URL, so with the help of this endpoint URL, someone trying to access our Salesforce data, someone trying to access this endpoint URL. We need to provide this endpoint URL. So with the help of this endpoint URL, they are able to connect in our Salesforce and they are able to create records. But along with this endpoint URL, we need to provide the username and password as well. Username and then password as well. For these username and password, right? So you should not provide your username and password, and you should not provide other people username and password. So what we can do, in the case of if you would like to expose the services, you need to create a one dedicated user. You need to create one dedicated user in order to pass these username and in order to pass these username and password. Okay. So what the user only using whatever the username and password of that user, that is only using for integration purpose. That is only using for integration purpose. Okay. So what you need to do, you need to create one user, the username and password, and along with this endpoint URL, you need to share it to the the corresponding third party system so that they are able to access. They are able to access this URL and then username and password. So that's why when you open any of the Salesforce account, you can see integration user. Integration user in the sense, so we have created one dedicated user that is we are using only for our integration. Okay, so no one log in with that user. Only integrating records, updating records, everything happened with that same user only. With that same user only. So here, if you would like to generate the endpoint URL, what you need to, you need to provide up to services slash data slash version 2023. If you would like to create the records, initiate my audio.
Yeah, Shrikant.
Are able to hear me?
Uh, in the middle of the
Oh, okay. Oh, is it fine now? Or still you are facing an issue?
now it's clear, Shrikant.
Okay. 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 So if you are facing any issue, right? Just let me know. I will stop it and then we'll start it. Okay.
Okay, Shrikant.
So if to provide these endpoint URL, the standard endpoint URL, what you need to up to force.com, whatever the URL available in our grid, so you can like just copy it and then slash services. So then after data, so and then we are going to use a version 36 or like whatever the current version, latest version we are having. So we need to provide this one, and then we need to like go with S objects. So then after whatever the object we want to create it, so you want to create it. So
Shrikant,
you need to
hello,
provide
Shrikant.
the they are able to create it. Sorry,
Voice is breaking, Shrikant.
just 1 minute. Then I will restart my system. I will rejoin. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay, Shrikant.